Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Validation Training Institute webinar. I am happy to introduce today Vicki de Klerk, VTI's Executive Director. Vicki, you can go ahead and take it away.
Thanks. Some of you know me, others of you don't. I am the daughter of Naomi File, who created the validation method. Naomi developed this method. Can you go to PowerPoint 2, please? That's Mom. And the picture on the right is where she grew up, which is the Montefiore Home for the Aged in Cleveland, Ohio. And Montefiore still exists today. It was run at the time by my grandfather. And Naomi was 4 years old when she first moved there. She called the old people her friends. And I deeply believe that it was that early experience with older adults that gave her the unique ability to have empathy with the very old person. At any rate, this is not about me. This is not about you. The title of this webinar is Caregivers, Take Care of Yourselves, because that's so terribly important. We can take away the PowerPoint right now, because what I would like to do is a little role play and get you to pay attention to what are the needs of both participants. I'm going to role play both myself and my mother. This is not real. I'm a nurse. I work in a hospital all day or in a community with older adults. I also care for my mother at home, and I've got 2 school-age children. So I come home from a long day of work, and the kids need to get their homework done, and I've got to start getting dinner on the table. And my mother comes in and she says, I need the car keys. I've got to go I have to meet Irma. And I respond, Mom, you haven't driven in a really long time, and Irma died 10 years ago. So in that exchange, what can you identify as my needs? And Megan, can you put up the poll right now? Of these 3 choices, what would you say? What were my needs in that little role play? Can you show the results to everybody?
Thanks, Vicki. So it looks like I'm unable to share at the moment, but it's an even split. About a third said a moment of peace, a third to keep control, and a third to correct my mother so she accepts reality.
Interesting. Really, all 3 are possible. Now let's look at it from the other side. What are the needs of my mother? If you could put up the next poll, please.
Apologies for the technical difficulties here, but folks in the chat box, if you can just select either to have freedom, to feel less alone, or to annoy me. These are the options for this question. What are my mother's needs? To have freedom, to feel less alone, or to annoy me? Thanks, Michelle.
Right. Right. It's interesting to take a look at that scene, which happens, I think, quite often with family caregivers. The needs are so divergent, and there's really only one way or a beginning of a way for the caregiver to be able to respond to the needs of the other. And that is to take your own needs and feelings in this present moment and put it aside for not forever. We don't want to get rid of our feelings forever, but we want to clear ourselves so we can be open to even acknowledging what the needs of the other person are. And the way we do this in the validation method is to center ourselves. And I'm actually very excited to show you all a brand new video on centering, which I'm going to show you right now. And let's do this exercise together.
Centering with tension and relaxation. This is a simple exercise that helps clear away your thoughts and feelings. Sit or stand in a comfortable position with your feet on the ground. Breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Take 3 deep breaths. Feel your spine from the top of your head down to your sit bone. Feel the curves. Starting with your feet, tense your feet into tight little fists. Hold it. Hold it for a count of 3. Now relax. Allow all the tension to flow out of your toes. Tense your whole leg, your thighs, your calves, the front and back of your legs. Hold it. Hold it. Now relax. Allow all the tension to flow out. Tense your buttocks. Tighter. Tighter. Hold it. Hold it. Now relax. Tense your belly and diaphragm. Harder. Hold it. Hold it. Let it go. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out your mouth. Go to your shoulders and upper chest. Tense the muscles. Hold it. Hold it. And let it go. Breathe. Tense your arms, your hands, your fingers. Make a fist. Harder. Harder. Hold it. And let it go. Breathe. Last, tense your face. Bring your eyebrows and your mouth together towards your nose. Scrunch it all together. Harder. Harder still. Hold it. And shake it out. Breathe. This is just one of many different sorts of centering exercises you can do. In the next section, you'll see how Cindy used centering to beautifully connect with Bruce.
So, did that work for you? Please write in the chat if what you thought of that video, if that helped you. Wonderful. This is part of a new series that we will be launching later in October called Skill Building Blocks. This was a favorite exercise of Naomi. She did it at every workshop, for those of you who know that, who have seen Naomi. But it may not have worked for everybody, because everybody, according to the first principle in validation, is unique and worthwhile. So VTI has got a whole series of centering exercises, which we would like to offer you. And Megan has put it in the chat, and please save that link, because in your own time, I would like to encourage every one of you to try each of those centering exercises. And if you don't like it, throw it away. Don't use it. If you already have a practice that is automatic and that you can really quickly find your center, clear yourself out so you can be open to another human being, use what you already have. I want you to consider now, and please write in the chat, how, for those of you who have a daily practice, or people who are imagining themselves having a daily practice, how can you do that, or how do you do that? How do you plan that in your day? Let's share some ideas in the chat. Do you do it every morning before breakfast or when you go to bed? Is there a specific time you use it? Every morning. Lovely. If you don't have a practice, imagine a time that would suit your schedule. I center when I feel the need, when I feel tension. Oh, how nice. I love that. Before you go to sleep. Oh, right, before. Understood. It can be more than once a day, and especially if you're at work and somebody comes at you with a complex issue, whether it's a coworker or whether it's a resident in the community, doesn't matter. If you're caught off guard, that's a beautiful moment to use your centering. But in order to use it, you have to have it integrated, and until it becomes an automatic behavior. Thank you so much to everybody who shared their ideas. It's wonderful that we can learn from each other. And I would like to remind you that centering is one form of caregiver self-care, and that if you don't have energy, if you feel drained or all tied up in your own emotion, it's very difficult to work with older adults who have cognitive decline, because in order to do that in a clear way, in a validating way, you need to put aside all that. You need to be able to feel that you have resources. And one way to give yourself resources is to find ways to care for yourself. I'll tell you a secret. One of my favorite ways is to watch Marvel movies. That takes me away to another place, another time, another universe. And that really helps me shake off difficult feelings. That fills me with energy. So I light candles that are scented. What are some of your ways to take care of yourself? How do you care for yourself every day? That's terribly important. Please write in the, write your favorite way to care for yourself in the chat. And if you don't want to share in the chat, write it down for yourself. Get a piece of paper right now and write down aromatherapy. Awesome. Walking in nature. Awesome. Wonderful. Music helps. And what kind of music? Is it always the same? Or are there some days when Bach works for you and other days the Rolling Stones? There's no right answer here. It's what suits you in that moment. What gives you Grey's Anatomy? Awesome. And crying. Yes, crying is a wonderful way to release, because if you're filled up with tears and you can't release it, then there's no place for the new energy to come in. So you can think of that as an emotional cycle. You have to express what's painful in order, and we know this from validation theory, painful emotions lessen when somebody listens to them, when you can express them. A tuning fork. Oh, wow, that's a creative idea. I love that. So I hope you plan a few minutes each day to do any activity, any one of these, any 5 of these, that give you more energy, that give you more resources, so that you can, with an open heart, reach out to another human being. We at VTI have created a whole channel of YouTube videos called Caregiver SelfCare. And Megan has just put it in the chat, and I would definitely save that link, because there are so many wonderful ideas from all over the place, from reflexology, laughter yoga, beer belly beer belly yoga, I think, or breathing. I think we have 16 different very short videos, including a clip of just the Atlantic Ocean that you can just sit and breathe. Find something that works for you. At this point, we've come almost to the end, and I'm wondering if there are any questions or points that you'd like to make. Please feel free to write in the chat. No, okay. Yes. For those of you who are caring for relatives at home, I wanted to mention that we have a special training course just for people like you. It's called the Family Caregiver course. It is 18 sessions. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's 1 hour a week, and where you get supported by a validation teacher who will help train you in the skills you need to be able to feel you can connect in a loving way and communicate in a clear and integral way with your relative. It helps enormously. Are these videos subtitled? We don't have it in Portuguese, but we do have it in Spanish, if that helps you, Anna. The videos have been translated into, I believe, 9 different languages, and check it out. Good. Yes. If you can hold your center, if you can feel resourceful, other people feel that, and it can create a more harmonious environment. Do we have a course in Spanish? Yes, we do. We have a training center based in Barcelona. The VTI website, yes, there you go. Okay. Yes, indeed. Thank you for reminding me. For those of you who are interested in learning basic validation skills, not just cognitive knowledge, but really practical skills, we've got a course coming up that we call, interestingly enough, the Practical Validation Training. And that is also led by an experienced validation teacher who will guide you in, I believe, 4 sessions, intensive sessions, and you will be practicing. It's all online, but it's synchronous learning, meaning you have to be there at the time of the course. It's not taped. And it's a guided practical learning, and it's a wonderful course, and it's been shown to really make a difference. And that course is good for both home caregivers as well as professionals. We have also a monthly talk and techniques support group, which is free to anybody. You can sign up for it on our website. That's also led by a certified validation presenter or teacher. And there you can ask your questions in a more interactive face-to-face way. Thank you, everybody. I hope this was a useful session for you. It was quite short, but sometimes the shorter things are the most important things. Without centering, it's really difficult to do anything else. So I thank you.
Thank you, Vicki, and thank you everyone for joining us today. We will send out the recording later this afternoon to everyone that attended and who registered.